You are listening to Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. I am your host, Shanel Scott. I'm a psychic medium and energy healer who has been supporting those on a spiritual journey for over a decade. I'm your tour guide into the world of the unknown, showing you that the magic of the universe is at your fingertips. I believe spirituality is simple and fun, and this podcast will make it easily accessible, giving you the real talk on all things divine and spiritual, helping you to step into the flow, manifesting your dreams because we all deserve to be living our best life. Are you ready for an adventure? Hey there, sunshines, and welcome to a new episode of Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. This week we are talking about a phrase that can be a game changer when you can use it. It is a simple little saying that I use that will help you to dive a little deeper into things, to get the clarity you need on things, to find direction, all with the help of your divine realm, because you ask for it. The big, divine law is that our loved ones on the other side, our angels, our guides, our spirit guides, they're not allowed to interfere in our lives. And I think we forget this. And I think we forget this a lot, that we actually have to ask for their help. If we don't ask for their help, then they're not allowed to interfere. So this little saying that I'm going to teach you today, and I've been talking about it on socials and so on and so forth, so you've probably already heard me say it, but this little phrase is a way of asking for their help. So the phrase is, show me the truth in this situation in a way that I can fully understand it. That last little piece is really important, and I'll explain. So I don't know if somebody told me this. I'm sure that's probably what happened somewhere along the way, or I read it in a book or whatever. But this is something that I've used for a lot of years. And there's phases in my life, which I just went through one, where I forget about it a little bit and then I come back to it again. And it is so helpful, and it is a really easy way to get the information that you need and let them know on the other side that you need their help. Again, I've already told you, but divine law states that our spirit guides, our angels, our loved ones on the other side are not allowed to interfere in our lives. We must ask for their help. So this phrase is asking for their help. Now, when I first started to use this, I just asked to see the truth in the situation, which the universe was always happy to oblige. The problem that I kept running into is this piece of it could go this way or that way, but I don't know which way is the truth. Now, this is kind of one of those tricky ones in the sense that both directions could be the correct direction, or both directions could be telling me something, but we really want that clarity. You can also add to this, not just in a way that I fully understand it. And let me tell you, that was a game changer. That was an absolute game changer. When I added that little piece on the end, all of a sudden things started to make a lot more sense. That there was more clarity in what I was being shown. There was one direction. There was one theme or piece or whatever. It was clearer when I added that. One of the other things you can do is ask for the highest good of everyone involved. That's another way you can add to it if you want to, because sometimes what's good for me isn't good for my family, right? Or my relationship or my business, whatever. So you can ask that piece for the highest good of everyone involved if you want to tack that on to the end too. So this is this is a really simple phrase that you can put out there to the universe. Now, just because we say it doesn't mean we just get to bob off and, not pay attention. We have to ask for the help, then we have to be open to receive it. Now, the trick with this is sometimes we don't want the answer that we're getting. And in those cases, we'll disregard the answer, or we'll brush it off and say, oh, I didn't see that, or, I'm going to use the term wish it away. And I see this with clients all the time that are looking for signs from their loved ones on the other side. And they're like, oh, but it was just a cardinal. There's always cardinals in the yard. And it's like, yeah, but it's your mom trying to say hello. And we're disregarding it. So we have to be open to actually see what it is that's being put in front of us. That's kind of like number one and key, right? If we aren't open to receiving the information, we are not going to get it. If we're not open to seeing and being present, we're not going to see it. And like I said, if it's not the answer that we want, are we going to honor it and actually see it for what it is, or are we going to brush it off? Big question there. Something that you have to answer for yourself, obviously. Now, somebody asked another question about this, and I thought it was important, and I want to talk about it. They're like, what if there's more than one thing at once? For clarity, it is always better to do one thing at a time. Often, when there's multiple things, they're all connected. And if we can start from kind of the root, kind of the knee-jerk, where we need to get started, what's being called to us the most, that will often start the kind of landslide or the trickle down to give us the rest of the information. We are a society that likes to know the how. We are a society that likes instant gratification. And when we're not getting that, we don't like it. But the reality is that the universe says, if you trust, then it will show it to yourself. If you know, then you know. And you don't have to understand the how to get to the place, the thing, the situation, the relationship, the career. We just know and we trust and we're following the flow. The how gets us in trouble. The how blocks us from actually seeing what we need to see. So this is where it gets complicated. And again, it's us that's making it complicated, not the universe. The universe is asking you to be present. The universe is asking you to ask the question and then be open to receive the answer. The issue we run into is this need to know. And so by needing to know the answer, the universe is like, you don't trust. You're not open. You're trying to control it and force it, and the universe doesn't do that. The universe loves flow, which is a surrender and allowing of flow. So this is where we get caught with asking about multiple things at the same time. And often, again, we are asking about multiple things because we want to control things. We want to have the answers to things instead of just being able to be present, asking the thing that's going to give us the most clarity in the moment, and then move forward from there. Now, sometimes we have multiple situations, though, that we need to know. That's different. If it's not connected, it's much easier to have that multiple questions at the same time. Again, you have to be open to the answers to receive them. So if you are not open to receiving, then we run into that issue, again, of not being able to see the answers, disregarding it because it's not what you want to see, so on and so forth. So the question of multiple really depends on what it is you're asking about. My suggestion, and you can tap into it yourself, as you know, I am someone that really advocates for you to understand your own process, the way you receive intuition, and what feels good for you. What feels right for you may not feel right for me, and vice versa, right? So if you are wanting to ask multiple times the truth in this situation, I really want you to sit and ask yourself, what is the situation? Is it just one big situation that has a lot of pieces to it? Is it multiple situations that are kind of their own entity that we are asking about? Or is there a lot of crossover where we are actually, have multiple things about the same thing. There is a difference between kind of like it just being a big and overall thing. Think of like relationship or career where we're like trying to find our way, versus if in one of those topics, we're asking multiple questions because we just need to know what's going to happen next. This question isn't about needing to know what is happening next. This question is about clarity in where you are in this moment. It will show you kind of the directions that you can go in. It's not telling you what to do or what is next. It is not giving you the how. It is simply giving you clarity in where you are. So maybe, for example, if you were wanting to get a promotion and you've applied for the job, you could ask for the truth in the situation. Is this a promotion that I am up for, that I have potential of getting, or that I will get? And ask to see the truth in that. Maybe you'll then get a compliment from your boss, or you'll get an interview, or, something else that kind of gives you this hint that it's moving in the right direction. Or maybe the other way around, you actually see that somebody else is in line for the job, and that the universe is just showing you that so you don't get your hopes up. So it's not necessarily the how. It's kind of this clarity in where we are right now. But again, this can be so powerful. When we get caught up in things and we're too in the middle of things, sometimes it's really hard to take that step back and to actually see what's going on. By advocating for that question, show me the truth in this situation in a way that I can fully understand it, all of a sudden we see things that we didn't see before because we are open to it. We've asked to be shown it. The universe has got our back and they're putting it out there in front of us. So it can be a really powerful way to help you get the clarity that you need to make decisions, to figure out your pathway, to understand a situation better, to get that clarity of what it is that you need. I'm like, do I leave it there? I think I do. If you have more questions about this saying, please let me know. Send me a DM, drop it in the comments, whatever you want to do, because I think this is a really powerful tool, and I would love to see you be able to use this in creating your own fertile ground, in up-leveling your life. It is a really simple, easy thing to pull out of your back pocket in moments where you just need to see the truth, that you need to see what is happening. Again, we have to be open to it. Our need for control, our need for the how, our need to know what's next will block the answers. It's simple. Our constant need is a block in general, not just from this question, but a block in general. And I kind of touched on it in that podcast episode about desire versus need. And there is this fine line and this crossover. But again, in general, when we are trying to control a situation, when we need something so desperately, we are often blocking it because we are not open to receiving it. We do not believe that it is happening. We do not believe that it is in our sphere and that we are just lining it up for it to arrive. Hence the reason we block it, because we don't believe. Believing is seeing, my friends. Believing is seeing. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for listening today. I really appreciate it if you can exchange energy with me. I greatly appreciate it. If you can share, comment, follow along. It means the world to me. I am incredibly grateful when I see that. I love everybody in my comments and my DMs. I love to talk and share with my my people out there. If you are looking for some things to do this month, there are 2 spots left for in-person mini readings at Mystic Ramen on King William and Hamilton on Thursday, October 17th. They're kind of later ones. There's a 9:20 and a 9:40 appointment left. You can fill your belly with some wonderful warm ramen and then come get a mini reading with me. You can head over to the Mystic Ramen website to sign up for that. I am so looking forward to the end of the month, to Sunday, October 27th for Haunting Halloween. Dear soul, Bert is going to come and talk to you about spirit photography, and then I'm going to do 2 hours of mediumship readings, trying to read for as many people that come as I possibly can in the 2 hours that we're there. That is at the Coach and Lantern in Ancaster, Ontario, and it is running from 7 to 10 p.m. This space, it will be open and before the event, though, if you want to come and make a night of it and get dinner and drinks. Tickets for that is available on my website, fromtheheartandsoul.com. Yeah, thanks everybody. From my heart and soul to yours. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye now.